fun one here in Tempe. Arizona State wins the first game of the Kenny Dillingham era, 24-21 over Southern Utah. I'm Eliav Gabai. This is Jordan Ham. And Jordan, I know you're born and raised here. I'm from LA, have not experienced a 2.5 hour lightning monsoon haboob delay. That was fun and also not.
That was fun, and let's never do it again.
You're right.
Okay, and this is, I'm going to go full Stefan from SNL here.
Okay.
This game had everything. Okay, It had Kenny Dillingham in his first game, Jaden Rashada, his first game. It had haboobs. It had lightning. It had dust. It had, the band leaving midway through. It had Southern Utah hanging around and it being a one-score game. Like, this game had everything, and I'm exhausted, and it's week one.
Yeah, absolutely. And Southern Utah really did get it together in that second half, but was it them getting it together more than ASU giving it up with all those penalties?
I think it was a mix of both. Yeah. I think it was ASU went into the half with so much momentum, that touchdown they got right before halftime, and then all of a sudden they had to sit. It was like the Super Bowl from a while ago when it was the Ravens and the 49ers. The advantage was with the 49ers because they were behind all of this, or they were behind going into it, and then all of a sudden it was the great equalizer. So Southern Utah probably said, we got nothing to lose. We're already down 2 scores. Let's go do it. And I think it just took ASU a while to get back into a rhythm. That was the word that Kenny Dillingham used a lot. So I think it was a bit of a mix of both. And I think it's really hard to evaluate where this team is, given all of these extra things. Kenny Dillingham said that wasn't an excuse. When we're trying to figure out what exactly is going on, I think we can use it as an excuse. We don't know the type of team that's going to walk in to Oklahoma State, but we saw some good, we saw some not so great, and we just kind of have to chalk it up to ASU getting a win and escaping.
Yeah, absolutely. They did survive, and Kenny did credit the defense for that. Jordan Clark even told him coming off the field, we got you, and that was leadership right there. So real quick, one player that impressed you?
I would say, Jaden Rashada. In the first half, right off the bat, that first drive went 3 for 3, moved the ball really well, had a couple really nice throws. You saw some near misses, but I think that will just come with reps. And if he hit on some of those deep balls, we're looking at a completely different stat line. We're looking at a completely different game. And for him to overcome all this adversity and still lead them to a W, that was one thing. Jordan Clark almost shamed the media in postgame not to recognize what he was able to do in the second half. We always talk about the big disaster plays that a true freshman can make. He really didn't have many. He had a couple throws that might have gotten picked off. They ended up not getting picked off. No turnovers in a first start as a true freshman. I think that's pretty darn good.
Absolutely. Credit where credit is due. I'm going to go with Cam Scattaboo, and I'm not just saying this because he's a number 4 wearing running back. He reminded me of DeMario Richard. He was attacking the defense. He wasn't afraid to receive, and he just did not go down. You had to bring multiple bodies at him, and that was impressive. I know I kind of expected that for him, especially against Southern Utah, but I like what I saw from him moving forward.
One more thing with Cam. The ironic part is he was very under-recruited out of high school because schools didn't know if he could catch the football. And some of his biggest plays that he had, he showed it at Sacramento State. They knew they could get that here. And he had a massive third down conversion where he caught the ball, broke a couple tackles, and was able to stay in bounds, chew up some clock. So some of his biggest plays came through the air, and that was what seemed like a weakness to some high school and college coaches when he was a high school player.
Well, absolutely tough running from him. They needed every bit of it. Arizona State survives here in Tempe. For Jordan Ham, I'm Eliav Gabai. This has been the Sports 360 AZ very late night post game.